Hey, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Grandpa in the book of Mark. Today we're going to pick up in chapter 11. And it says, now, as they approached Jerusalem near Bethphage, Bethany, at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two of his disciples and said to them, go to the village ahead of you. As soon as you enter it, you will find a colt tied there that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone says to you, why are you doing this? Say, the Lord needs it, and they will send it back here soon. So this is, if this was in the Wild West, you would think that this colt would be a wild horse or something, but they're really talking about a donkey, a young donkey. So Jesus isn't planning on being a bronco buster or anything like that. So they went and found a colt tied at a door outside in the street and untied it. Some people standing there said to them, what are you doing untying that colt? And they replied as Jesus had told them. And the bystanders let them go. Then they brought the colt to Jesus, threw their cloaks on it, so their coats, and not like what we call a coat. These are more like robes. And he sat on it. Many spread their cloaks on the road, and others spread branches they had cut in the fields. Both those who went ahead and those who followed kept shouting, Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest. So all these people are like going crazy welcoming him as he's riding on this young donkey slowly, because donkeys don't, he's not like galloping into Jerusalem. He's riding slowly, and these people are just yelling out, Hosanna. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Not only is he coming in the name of the Lord, he is the Lord. Then Jesus entered Jerusalem and went to the temple. And after looking around at everything, he went out to Bethany with the 12, since it was already late. So he goes in, checks out the temple, and then says, yeah, it's getting late. Let's go out to Bethany, where we're going to spend the night. Now the next day, as they went out from Bethany, he was hungry. After noticing in the distance a fig tree with leaves, he went to see if he could find any fruit on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. So he wasn't going to find figs on this tree. He said to it, may no one ever eat fruit from you again. And his disciples heard it. So we're going to get back to this again in a few verses. Then they came to Jerusalem. Jesus entered the temple area and began to drive out those who were selling and buying in the temple courts. Now, there were these festivals that the men of Israel had to come to if they were in Israel. And they had to come to all of them. Jesus kept this law. And when they came, they had to make sacrifices. So what you could do is you could bring a sacrifice with you, or you could just buy one when you get there. So this had become like the Walmart of sacrifices. And this is Passover. This is the big one. This is the one that marks them, coming out of Egypt. And so there's all kinds of mishigash going on here. A lot of people making a lot of money, and hardly anybody getting blessed. began to drive out those who were selling and buying in the temple courts. He turned over the tables of the money changers and the chairs of those selling doves. And he would not permit anyone to carry merchandise through the temple courts. Then he began to teach them and said, "Is it not written, my house will be called a house of prayer for all nations?" This is interesting. He's saying, you're here doing this and perverting this very Jewish festival, the fundamental, foundational Jewish festival of Pesach, Passover. But this is supposed to be a place of prayer, not only for Israel, but for all the Gentiles too, for all the nations. But you have turned it into a den of robbers. The chief priests and the experts in the law heard it, and they considered how they could assassinate him, for they feared him, because the whole crowd was amazed by his teaching. When evening came, Jesus and his disciples went out of the city. Cold brewed coffee. In the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots. So here we're back to the fig tree. Peter remembered and said to him, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered." Jesus said to them, "Have faith in God. I tell you the truth. If someone says to this mountain, 'Be lifted up and thrown into the sea,' and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will happen, it will be done for him. For this reason I tell you, whatever you pray and ask for, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, so that your Father in heaven will also forgive you your sins." And that goes back to what we call the Lord's Prayer. We have to have a forgiving heart. Now, I have no idea what this has to do with that fig tree. And I don't know why Jesus cursed this perfectly good fig tree. All it was doing was sitting there. He knew already that it didn't have any figs, but he's doing this. It's some sort of a lesson for the clown car known as the apostles, who never get it. I mean, it's a great hope for us because we don't get it either. And so when we see these people, we tend to venerate them. Oh, it's St. Peter. Well, I'm St. Pat. I'm St. Frank. And if you're a believer, you are Saint, whatever your name is. In the song, when the saints come marching in, it's about all of us believers. It's not like, oh, you're going to see St. Mark and St. Luke and St. Anthony. No. The church called them saints. Jesus calls us saints. They came again to Jerusalem while Jesus was walking in the temple courts. So apparently they were afraid of him because he was there yesterday and did all kinds of destructive stuff. Now he's back there again. The chief priests, the experts in the law, and the elders, so they're ganging up on him, came up to him and said, "By what authority are you doing these things? Or who gave you this authority to do these things?" And Jesus said to them, "I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things." So it's all these things. We're talking about him. The things that we know that just happened are when he was coming to Jerusalem, he rode on a donkey and everybody was doing the things that would welcome the Messiah. And he's not saying no. He's accepting what the people are saying. And then he goes in and starts to turn over all the tables. It's like Bill Burr talking about punching cupcakes or muffins or something. And it's like the emperor just when you're at a fair, with your wife, and you don't want to be there, and it's like there's this table full of muffins, and you just want to go like pow, pow, pow. Well, that's what he was doing. He was popping their muffins. So answer me and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. John's baptism. So it's talking about not John getting baptized, but John the Baptist. The baptism that he was giving to people, including Jesus. John's baptism, was it from heaven or from people? Answer me. They discussed with one another, saying, if we say from heaven, he will say, then why did you not believe him? But if we say from people, they feared the crowd, for they considered John to be truly a prophet. They didn't consider him to be a prophet, the crowd did. And the crowd is like showing all this messianic love to Jesus as he's coming there. And these folks are worried. It's a group of 3 of them. The chief priests, the experts in the law, and the elders. So they answered Jesus, we don't know. Then Jesus said to them, neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things. So they said they didn't know, but they knew. Or let's put it this way. Maybe they really didn't know, but they had opinions, and they're very good at giving their opinions. They're like members of Congress. Can't go by a newspaper reporter or a camera. You just have to come up and go like, oh, yeah, did I tell you about how bad this guy is and how good this guy is and how great I am? So these guys had an opinion, but they're afraid. And the thing about the Bible is we're blessed by it even though we know the end, because we know there's a happy ending. See you next time. Peace out.